Aloha folks, I'm making this video because the last 2 weeks have been insanely intense. I've gone through it myself, my clients are going through it, fellow practitioners are going through it, and shit's real, shit's hitting the fan, and we are feeling it now more than ever. I myself have intense anxiety the last 2 weeks, and I haven't had anxiety in years, and I used to suffer from it pretty bad, so old things coming up to be worked on. Another practitioner friend of mine hasn't slept in over a week, or only slept 5 hours in a week. So lack of sleep being triggered by deep emotional wounds. There's like a PTSD from these wounds, and it's our most sensitive, sore piece of us that we are protecting, and we don't even know we're protecting it, but it's a form of defensive. We've been taking down the walls that defend this nugget inside of us, and it's all coming up. That little nugget is being poked like crazy, and that is bringing up physical symptoms, emotional symptoms, mental symptoms. You might be sick, you might not be able to sleep, you might be going through anxiety, you might, all the things are coming up. So how do we get through this? Well, we can get through it. What I have noticed for myself, for my clients, and for fellow practitioner friends of mine, there's a few things we need to be doing right now. The first thing is noticing it, being aware, and also understanding that you're not alone helps. Everybody's going through this. I mean, this is planetary energy, this is Earth's energy and the stars, this is the sun, winds, this is all the things are coming together and ripping this apart. Okay, so what's the first thing we can do? Well, like I said, we recognize we're not alone and we're going through it. Then one of my mentors suggested we have to go back to the basics, and don't roll your eyes, real basics. I forgive myself for not feeling worthy. I forgive myself for giving too much and not receiving. I forgive myself for not having boundaries. I forgive myself for feeling sad, for feeling hurt. I forgive myself for going through that situation. I forgive myself for that PTSD that it caused. I forgive myself. So start by forgiving yourself. It will relax the tension a little bit. And this isn't going to work in a minute. This is a daily exercise. So, or an hourly exercise at this point. It's when we notice what's coming up, we forgive it. So for example, I forgive myself for having anxiety. That is able to then lead us to then like a deeper level, and we can figure out or contemplate and go through the tunnels, like I call them. Who's triggering us? What's triggering us? Am I feeling sad because somebody else did something to me? And then I forgive myself for feeling sad. I forgive myself for giving that person my power. I forgive myself for giving my power away. So the forgiveness exercise is very potent, really helpful. And then once we kind of can have these aha moments in that in that forgiveness state, it opens us up, it calms us down. And in those aha moments, that is where we go, wow, maybe I was giving my power to somebody, and what do I need to do to reclaim that power? Or let's not give that power away. What would it be like for me to love myself for who I am? How do I feel when I reclaim that, and do I sink into happiness? Do I find parts of myself that I have neglected or I have voluntarily given away? And I forgive myself for voluntarily giving pieces of myself away. Or I forgive myself for being in a state of fear. Big things that are coming up right now are fear. Fear is can be causing a lack of sleep. For me, it was not standing in my full power, my full potential, relying on others. But at the end of the day, all this is beautiful because the protagonist in the story, whoever it is or whatever the emotion is teaching us the opposite of what we want to be. Okay, so then the very last thing, well, not very last, I would also suggest getting a tuning. And I would suggest doing any type of self-care that needs to be done, that you enjoy, I should say. And then one of the things that I think has worked for me more than anything else is reclaiming our sovereignty. Okay, so let me just get my laptop and read to you what my favorite astrologer posted the other day, and I'll link this. So my astrologer and close friend of mine, Lolita, posted the other day that June 10th we were having a big flux with the planets, with Neptune in particular. Let me grab this. Okay, so geometric T-square to Neptune asks us to trust love while remaining vigilant. So this is on galacticshamanastrologers.net. I suggest reading it, and again, I'll link. But the most important part of this post, her blog post, is a statement to reclaim sovereignty. And I know this sounds a little nuts to some of you, but so the others, I know that you're gonna follow along. I did this for myself. I did this with a fellow practitioner friend of mine, and I just did this with a biofield tuner friend of mine. And it made a huge difference for her. It made a huge difference for me. I am doing this hourly at this point. Basically, there are forms of mind viruses or mind control in some cases, or, you know, when you get a song or a thought, or it could be something that is seemingly meaningless, or it could be something that is a little bit more detrimental. Either way, I suggest following Lolita's statement to reclaim your sovereignty. So here it goes. I command and decree any cord I have knowingly or unknowingly made by watching the videos of, having a session with, or being tagged with implants that target me, further for abduction, having my energy siphoned off, or entangling my absolute sovereignty are hereby declared null and void. Any thought forms or actions, either conscious or unconsciously made in participation with tricksters, cannot affect my friends, my family, or clients. I am the full light of awareness, and my infinite self will be the vigilant sword of justice and truth. I am a warrior of love and will no longer be deceived. So it is. I'd like you guys to do that several times over the next few days and see how you feel. My whole being just got bigger, and it was clearer. It was like, whoa, I'm feeling like parts of myself that I haven't, my field. It's been very helpful. And for those of you that have clients, You probably know that it's been insane the energy's been amped up crazy the last couple of weeks since like the end of May, and it is currently June 13th. So we're going on 2 weeks here. If you need any more information, feel free to message me, and I'm happy to share. All right, love you. Aloha.